What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we have a different type of scenery. We're just at the house today. I don't feel like really driving anywhere, so today our objective is to put the rear camber arms on that I finally got in, just so I could get rid of the excessive camber wear in the rear, because I'm going through tires like crazy just because I keep clutch kicking the hell out of it. So we're just going to replace this upper arm. It should be simple. Bolts here, bolt back there by the subframe, and we should be able to get it out in no time. Right, Marcus?
Oh, you got the cool ones too. That are halfway, anyways.
Yeah, it's not the full circle one like the S14 does, yeah, and the 300ZX ones does.
Mine came off of 300ZX.
Yeah. So camera arms right here. So I bought a steering shaft bushing, and I just looked at.
Don't need it.
Yeah, I just looked into my engine bay, and it's not even there. There's no steering rack, or steering column bushing at all whatsoever.
Oh, so it's just normal.
It's just a normal shaft. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll pop that from you.
Yeah, it's over there if you want it. If you need it, it's a aluminum one. So.
Yeah, I heard mixed reviews about it. I heard that it tightens up your steering, but it also makes it very shaky. In the steering.
I mean you don't really drive the 180 as much, so you should be fine.
I got the good old bro rig.
Yeah, I know.
How should I drive that thing?
True, but yeah. So I'm gonna get started on these camber arms, and
being a deaf guy too, by only using a jack again.
Well, I mean, we don't really have anything else. I'll put the tire underneath it.
No, you're good.
Yeah. I mean, this should be quick. I'm not like putting a crazy amount of weight on this side, so yeah. Let's get started. I just noticed I didn't have the camera zoomed out on that first clip of introduction, but it's gonna be a little weird. But okay, so we have my 17 on this side. 350Z spare, but I have the camber arm in. There we go, you can see that. Camber arm is in. Actually, get you underneath. So, as y'all can see, shiny camber arm is in. I have it adjusted to as much as I can because I don't really have all the tools here, but you know, it is what it is. And right now, it's pretty super positive. I wouldn't say super positive, but there's not as much negative. Right now it's towing out a little bit, so definitely gonna have to get alignment, or when I get to the shop and have better tools, I could tow it in a little bit, and yeah, you know, but you know, it's gonna help me save tires in the rear. The front, I just have to get alignment and get the wheel for the other SVT wheel, since I have to see our car back on, because the other night I actually popped 3 tires at once. Well, not all at once, but like 2 on my way home were the rears, because you know I've been sliding, and then the front on my way to a meet, because I didn't expect it to be as worn as it was, and with me putting the 18s on the rear probably put too much pressure on the front, and it just popped. So my fault. I didn't look at it, so you know. Now we're just gonna do this side, get it all adjusted and everything, and then the rears will be on 17s again, and not monster trucking, and with a lot less camber, because you can see from this, I don't really know if you can see that, but it's pretty cambered in for a natural camber. I would say I decreased by like an inch and a half of camber out, so I don't really know the terms, bear with me, but yeah, we're just gonna start on this side. And I'll actually set you guys up instead of me just, you know, cutting clips and all that stuff. So I'll give you some working clips. Of course, this is my life. Gotta love Florida. tools are getting soaked. I'm literally on the last inner nut and bolt of the stock lower control arm, or not stock lower control arm, stock camber arm, and it's fighting me because the bolt wants to strip right now. So I just doused it with WD-40 and hopefully, you know, just give it some time, and then hopefully this rain will subside. It says it's gonna rain till 8, but knowing Florida, this is never really the case. So I might just have to put the other nut and bolt on, put the wheel on, and just drive to the shop and finish it there. I don't know. Always when I want to do something. Always. All right, guys, so you see we changed scenery. We brought the S14 to the shop because I asked Chris if there was space, and all you got to do is move the bracers that we go over. And now we're here, and tell me how I get to the shop and the rain finally lets up. But, you know, right now I am adjusting the arm. The last arm is in. You see, stock one, shiny boy is in there. And right now I'm just adjusting camber out. And yeah, I don't know, nothing special. The rain kind of ruined this type of thing just because getting rained on. I was soaked. So we're here now. So, all right, guys, so we're pretty much finished up here at the shop. I got it as, I wouldn't say dialed, but I got it as good as it can be for an eye alignment, just because obviously you can't beat a real alignment. But before, you know, you like from this angle, you literally couldn't barely see like the wheel itself because it was so cambered in. But now, you know, it's nice and straight, or as straight as it can be without being, you know, too extreme. Like I said, a real alignment will fix it. This one's a lot better. But this side is like kind of towing in a little bit, and this side is like towing out a tiny bit. So that's one thing I gotta definitely fix for sure. And then, like I said, I gotta put the SVT wheel back on, take off the CRLI because that's a spare. So get maximum chromies up front, and then obviously drift spares in the rear. Eventually I'll get myself a full set of wheels, but we budget here. But I don't know how long this video is at the moment, but you know, if I continue, I continue. If I wrap it up, you'll see an ending right here. All right, guys, so slight continuation to the video. Here back at the shop again, I have the rear end lifted up so I can adjust the toe, because right now my rear end feels like it's like fishtailing whenever I'm trying to get on acceleration and whatnot. So remember, this side is a little bit towed out and the other side is a little bit towed in. So we're gonna try to do our best to eyeball it until we get the alignment. So what I just did was I was chasing this coolant leak in the engine bay for the longest time. I couldn't figure out where it was, and I finally found it. On the KA, there's a, I don't know how to call it, but where the upper radiator hose goes to, there's a nipple that comes off of it. So, when I took my intake manifold off before, because a couple videos back, or a few videos back, sorry, we took it off because we were chasing another coolant leak, which was to the heater core hose. You have to take out the intake manifold in order to really get back there and have all the open space you need. And since this car was bone stock, you know, obviously all this OEM vacuum lines and coolant lines and wherever were still there. So I had to simplify the whole system, and I did. When I did that, there's a couple of coolant ports that were not needed anymore, so you could just plug them. And I had one of these, obviously, you know, vacuum plugs, and I put a hose clamp around it, thinking, you know, it would hold, but I guess it didn't. Going through heat cycle and heat cycle, it finally, I guess, split and bursted, and that was the mystery coolant leak that I had. And it was a pain to get to, because obviously I was, you know, driving it here, everything's super hot now, the coolant's super hot, so I gotta wait for that to cool down. It gives me an excuse to mess with the toe a little bit. But I'm gonna set you guys up you know, a lot of you guys might already know how to do this, and this is probably boring, so I'll just do it quick for you guys. This one's for Chris, and for those that say, like I said, you know, jack stands are there, so no one yell at me. I usually, you know, do use the jack stands, but obviously Matt had them, so, you know, now they're back. Now I can get underneath the car, no problem. But toe adjustment right here and right there, you guys can see that. Since these are stock toe arms, you can't really do too much crazy adjustments. Just unlock, well, loosen up the adjustment bolt and, you know, adjust it accordingly. You could actually see it move. Same thing with the camber arm and the bolts. You can see them move, and, you know, it makes it easy. You know, just get it as close as possible. Guys, so now I'm home. The car feels great now. Before, like I said, the rear end was like waving back and forth just because it was mostly just the passenger side rear was towed out, and it was like crab walking a little bit, and if I would accelerate, it would, you know, make me feel like I was about to manji like a straight or something like that, but obviously we don't want that. So I just tucked it in a little bit, and like a little to where I tucked it in a little bit where I tucked it in a little bit where the tire was a little bit towed in, but then when you lowered it, it tows itself out a little bit, if that makes sense. I don't really get it myself, the geometry between the arms and stuff like that, I don't really go get, but, you know, we are ready for an alignment. Now I just need to get tires front and rear, get the SVTs back on the fronts, and then, you know, get some good tires for the rear, and then it should wear a little, it should wear evenly, or at least better than just the inside wearing away, instead of me flipping it constantly all the time. So now we just got to figure that out, and then figured out the coolant leak. So that was driving me crazy because every single time, like every other day, I would have to fill up the radiator because I couldn't find the leak for the death of me. And like it was looking like it was coming from the thermostat housing slash water pump area, but I recently did that to where, you know, the water pump's new and the thermostat housing is resealed with, you know, fresh RTV, and you know, it was just frustrating, and I hoped it wasn't, and I really hoped it wasn't anything underneath the intake manifold, because that is a bitch to get to, because you got to take the whole entire thing off, take the harness off and everything. I didn't want to go through that again. I mean, we have a full gasket kit from the head gasket up waiting to go on the car, ARP, flywheel bolts, I think that's the rear main seal. And we also have energy bushing kit for the rear, and I need to order timing chain, oil pump, a few other things, and we should be just about stocked up on what we need to pull the motor and refresh it fully. What do you guys think? Should I prep the motor to pull out to where I'll have like an oil drain bung, you know, on the pan, and, you know, get everything ready for the turbo? I mean, the turbo's not coming anytime soon, but, you know, it's nice to have, you know, while the motor's out, just get it ready. I just don't have everything in the funds to get the turbo kit all said and done. So should I just prep the pan for that, you know, try to clean up certain other things? Oh yeah, that reminds me, I also need to order a clutch as well, because the stage 3 that's in it right now, I bought used with the tranny for like 150 bucks for both, and it's a stage 3 sprung, and it works. You know, it doesn't feel like it's slipping or anything like that right now. So, but once I hit boost, I'll probably be slipping. So that's why I want to get a new clutch. Just let me know what you guys think I should do. But if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, put it down in the comments what you guys want to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next one.